Oh boy, another Wonderbolt episode. Yeah, after the cringe fest known as Newbie Dash, I'm just a little hesitant about another adventure with MLP's mashup of the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels. When it comes to Wonderbolt episodes, they're really hit or miss for me. There's really no consistency with them. But since the last one was a miss in my opinion, I'm hoping this one will be a total 180 on what Newbie Dash was, especially since it's another map episode which we haven't seen since Viva Las Pegasus, and this episode is named after one of my all-time favorite movies, which means, will Top Bolt achieve the need for speed, or will it crash and burn? I'll just let this clip describe my feelings for the episode. I don't even know where to start. The episode, albeit loosely, did a brilliant job of following the plot of Top Gun. I just had so much fun recognizing some of my favorite scenes from the movie while I was watching Top Bolt. And the best part is, the writers nailed the film references. They did what they needed to do to tell a story for MLP while at the same time making light homages to Top Gun for fans of the movie to enjoy without cramming it down your throat. The classroom scene at the beginning was perfect. Sky Stinger bragging about how he'll get his picture on the wall next to Rainbow Dash, followed by Dash's reply, was just the best way to mirror Maverick and Viper's conversation in the classroom of Top Gun. And then after Sky Stinger had his fallout with Vapor Trail and Dash noted to Twilight that he lost his confidence, greatly reflected how Maverick lost his confidence at Top Gun when, well, if you've seen the movie, you know what happened. But the best reference to me had to be at the very end where the two said that the other could be their wing pony anytime. I'm not ashamed to admit that the Top Gun fan in me exploded at those words. I really cannot commend the writers enough for how phenomenally they did at being able to tell their own story for MLP while also using an abridged plot of Top Gun to help tell that story. Speaking of the story of Top Bolt, I loved it. I really liked how well Rainbow Dash has acclimated to being a part of the Wonderbolts for some time now, and it's basically second nature to her. Plus, like with Testing 1, 2, 3, I love just how Twilight's overzealous love of teaching played off Rainbow's despise for the traditional classroom setting. It was really interesting but clever to have the duo of Sky Stinger and Vapor Trail come in as a successful team like Maverick and Goose, and at first it looked like Rainbow would have to deal with someone as cocky as she was when she was younger. And while that would have been an interesting story idea, I was really intrigued with the revelation that Vapor Trail was the reason Sky Stinger was as a successful flyer as he was. Even though they mentioned earlier how they've always been a team, I honestly found this to be a nice twist that he wasn't as good as he believed, because normally in a pair, there's always someone who's the better of the two. Now, the comedy. I could not stop laughing at this episode. I truly believe this was even funnier than 28 Pranks Later. Normally in a Wonderbolt episode, I expect a few gags here and there, but wow, the jokes just seemed endless here. Spitfire had some of the best lines in the entire episode, like when she admitted to Rainbow she loved yelling and blowing her whistle at the cadets, or how having a cadet's wings fall off from flying so hard has only happened once. But I think my favorite gag had to be the classroom scene where Twilight began her presentation and Rainbow immediately fell asleep and Twilight had to wake her up with an air horn. The jokes here definitely outshine the ones in Newbie Dash simply because Newbie Dash only had one joke going for the majority of the episode, and it wasn't a good one either. Tell me what's funnier, Rainbow changing her hair and trying to act like all of her friends to change her call sign, or Rainbow falling asleep mere seconds after Twilight starts teaching and the latter pony blows an air horn to wake up the other one. One major problem with the first Wonderbolt episode of Season 6 was again the lame gag of Rainbow trying to act like her friends, but it was also plain boring when she got her call sign Crash. When I go back to try and watch it, the 3-act formula is really glaring and in your face, and while the majority of TV and movies these days are the 3-act formula, there's just something about Newbie Dash that really forces it. Here in Top Bolt, the whole story flows together beautifully like a river without a ripple. The pacing is really quick and consistent, and it doesn't really slow down except when it needs to, like when Vapor and Sky have to get back on the same page. I don't really mind a quick-paced story so long as it's interesting and it stays the same pace throughout the episode, and what we got here was such a great journey. As for the morals, simply put, they were well done. I really liked how both Vapor and Sky's attitudes towards the Wonderbolt Academy were different, yet they both suffered from confidence issues. Vapor, as Twilight stated, took a back seat in order to help Sky fly better and never thought too highly of herself, which led to her lacking any confidence in her flying abilities. And it wasn't until Rainbow took her under her wing did Vapor realize that she's had the ability all along to be a Wonderbolt. Her hating being the center of attention just blinded her from her true talents. While on the other side, Sky was overconfident and cocky and felt as if he didn't need to practice at all because he was a natural shoo-in for the bolts. His overconfidence and success from Vapor's help blinded him from seeing that he wasn't as good as he believed. And if he continued without Vapor speaking up and Twilight and Rainbow helping the two of them, he would have been in for a rude and painful awakening during the test. This shows that confidence in of itself is good, but you have to be careful not to be too cocky or too tentative, or else it could blind you from what you're going into. If you go into something with far too much confidence in yourself, you may fail spectacularly because you'll miss important details or steps or not try hard at all, like Sky skipping practice. However, if you don't try because you don't think you'll succeed or you don't know if this is truly what you want, you'll always fail because you'll never know what you're capable of. I myself have suffered from having little confidence in myself, especially on this channel before. But I'd like to add that I also saw that it's okay to help your friends achieve a goal, like getting into the Wonderbolts Academy or a shot at getting into the Wonderbolts Academy, but there comes a time when you have to step back and let them succeed or fail on their own. Like I said before in my Newbie Dash review, I always get a Top Gun vibe whenever I watch a Wonderbolt episode, and holy crap did they give us a treat with Top Bolt. Not only did it deliver a well-told story with hints of the Top Gun plot sprinkled on, and great morals about how careful you have to be when it comes to having confidence in yourself, but I can't get over how jam-packed this episode was with jokes. I especially loved Spitfire here, and this is honestly her best portrayal ever. Just her lines about loving her job and comparing Sky to a deflating balloon with a hole in it were gold. Plus, I adored how well of a teaching duo Twilight and Rainbow are. Even if someone isn't a fan of Top Gun or hasn't even seen it, it's such an enthralling episode that hooks you in and takes you straight through the danger zone. Top Bolt is easily a green flag episode, has displaced No Second Prances for my second favorite episode spot for season 6, and is my favorite Wonderbolt episode of all time. But now, I would love to hear what you thought of Top Bolt. I'm MrLeftTurn, I'll see you when I get back from the track.